Okay, so we're back. Just realised I need my hand printing thing. So I've kind of laid them out again to get my head round what on earth is going on. And I'm going to print the background layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull, as I say, the cloth, I'm not worried about the picnic blanket, I'm not worrying about masking anything to give that a clean effect because it's going to be layered quite thinly, quite like that. So I'm going to move those apples there because they go on last. That's completely irrelevant because he has nothing overlaying. I need a little mask there, that will do, just a little bit to slip under that bit. It's going to sit there. So I'm going to move that as a unit because we're not printing that over here again. So I'm just kind of exploding everything so I can visually see and keep it in the same place. It's probably nothing like the one I laid out to start with. But, you know, as I said, you could have taken a sketch, photograph something. But also, as I've worked, some of these have come out stronger, so I've rearranged it to bring out the stronger ones to the fore, merged the other ones so they kind of become forms, abstract forms, that sort of thing. Cloth, I'm going to... That's all fine, that's all fine. I'm going to move this unit over here, like that. And I'm going to start printing. That leaf there is printed separately, so actually he can go under now. And the first thing, that one needs a mask underneath, so let's do that. And I'm printing all the cloth onto dry paper. I'm not damping the paper because it will start to buckle, which will play havoc when I start to hand print. It'll be really difficult to get registration. Well, I say registration, approximate registration accurate. You can see my masks, when I do masks, I kind of quite like the fact they're not exactly the same. It leaves some elements for chance, which I really enjoy. So that goes there. Now this way, even I say like I'm a printmaking god. I'm not. I don't mean it when I say even I like that. I mean, just because I do this quite a lot, I mean even I still have to double check my backwards and forwards. So the first things we're going to print are just this leaf and these cloth ones here, because actually there's nothing else to go on yet. That Mokulito dude comes down. So just I just lay it down and just have a quick think. Okay. I'm actually going to, as I say, this is not classic printmaking. I'm going to print, that goes there, that's, yeah. I have to check this again, I'm really sorry, this is, so that is my bottom there. Deary me. I'm going to print this plate, printing plate facing onto the paper. Ordinarily you put the plate on the press bed, then paper on top. The reason I'm doing this, I'm just going to place this leaf somewhere, is because I don't want any emboss on any of this. I want a flat image, and by doing it this way, the paper isn't forced into the blankets, which are soft and receive the paper, and so it will create no emboss. It's not going to damage my press, it's just another thing to think about. Just getting some tissue paper to lay over the top there. Isn't it funny? I'm literally just printing these two to start with. And I've set the pressure incredibly high. Just double checking, no, that literally is it. Because I'm not printing on damp paper, I'm literally working with the ink going onto the paper. It's a very tight pressure. Just going to scoot all around this way. And let's see what we have. paper gone through? Yes, it has, yeah. Okay. I did actually wash my hands, so in theory shouldn't need paper fingers, but it is me. Lovely. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. They are for the recycling and compost. Well, just going to move those down to the side. Okay, I'm going to lay, let's see if I can clear a space up here to lay the print as we go. Brilliant. Okay, I'll hold it up obviously to the camera at the end. Real nice cloth lithographic leaf here. Some nice, that was with the rollover. And the touche here, this one was, when I was inking it, being a bit faffy, but it's got a nice shape and you can see the line here. The touche hasn't picked up very well. Hey ho, such is life. Right, next. Let me remember this. I am going to print, because this is all backwards, blah blah blah. That Mokulito leaf there. And we've got some more Mokulito to print here. So, let's do those. Yes, let's do those. Yeah, with their masks, and they've got little tissue paper masks on underneath, so then I can print the cloth on top. They're going to go there and the other one there. Yeah, okay, that's what we're going to do next. So, I'm printing these by hand. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull out my press bed towards me again. So that I have an additional surface to do this hand printing on. So that is going there. I'm just going to flip the paper over. Got a hand printing barren, and I'm just holding it in place. Lovely, and just giving it a good old rub. Obviously with these little jigsaw pieces you have to be a bit fiddly. You have to make sure you hold them well in place. Oh, I do love printmaking. You never know what's going to happen. Well, you do. This is the beauty of it. You do know what's going to happen. But then it turns around and says, yeah, well, you thought that was going to happen, and then instead I'm going to do this. And so I love it. I love it. Just going to have a beautiful. Wow, that's an awesome Mokulito leaf. Woo! Okay, okay. Just a little sort of stretch, a bit of dancing here. Okay, okay. This is why you can see I actually genuinely absolutely love this. Okay, we've got these two leaves, so I'm just going to move the ones I've done out of the way. So he's going to go there, like that. I'm going to see if I can do them both at once, and he's going to go there like that. This is so exciting. And you can see that was hand printed Mokulito, and I'll again hold it closer to the camera at the end. It prints really well, and actually all lithographic techniques you can in theory hand print them, because you're wanting the paper to pick up the surface ink. There's no having to force into the ink as with force into etched lines as with an intaglio. Kind of feeling where they are. Oh, they're there. You know, so even stone lithography I've hand printed some. I mean, it's hard work and you have to do a bit of a workout, but that's fun. Saves gym's fees. Let's do more chin-ups, right? Going to printmaking training school. Press ups, chin ups, star jumps, you know, printmakers are fit people. I'm just having a peek where these leaves actually are, because it's always tricky to tell. I think I've got everything of that leaf. Yep, just missing a very more places to miss, it's very middle. Okay, moving on to leaf number 2. He's there. You can use an old wooden spoon for this, obviously one that isn't covered in tomato sauce or something, or curry. Preferably a clean wooden spoon. Wooden spoons are great for hand printing. Just having a peek if I got it all. Lovely. 2 leaves, move those out of shot. Okay, now this is where we're going back. Oh no, there's another one over here, and then I'm going to print the cloth again. So this dude, he was kind of there, wasn't he? Yeah. It's very autumnal. So he's going to go there. There he is, on he goes. And yes, I'm literally doing a flip. I'm gripping the paper and the Mokulito jigsaw plate together, and I'm flipping the two. You could set up a beautiful, very professional looking registration device where you draw everything laid out on a piece of paper or acetate, and then you know exactly where it's going. Please feel free to do so. I'm a bit more haphazard, and I find registration devices, and if you're printing, obviously they have their place. When you're printing a lino that's multi-plated or reduction or something, you need everything in line, or 2-colour etching, I get it. But when you're doing something like this, I personally don't get it, because they can be very restrictive. You've got to go here because I've drawn it out on my registration plate. And it's like, well, does it have to go there? Surely the joy of this type of printmaking is the fact it doesn't have to go anywhere. You can kind of put it where you want it to go. Almost there. I like a good edge. If you've got an edge, I always say celebrate the edge. When I did a lot of etching, I would always make sure my edges were spotlessly clean. So if you're going to do an emboss and you're going to do an edge, make sure it's good. Always say that. Ooh. Okay. This is fun, isn't it? Okay, that one's done. Clean up, tidy, neat. Great. Now we're going to go back under here with the cloth. So we're going for, actually I'm wondering whether it's now the time to introduce the fabric as well. We might do that. Just having a quick think. That's going, yeah, roll a blah, blah, blah. Think, Mary, act. Make a decision. I can't actually remember if that leaf went there, but it's going there now. You see what I mean about registration devices for this type of printmaking? I would be an absolute nightmare. A teacher's worst student. I'd have this beautiful registration device and I wouldn't even use it. It'd be appalling. It'd be so frustrating for any teacher who's actually trying to teach something. Anyway. We're going to put him there. Going to go, decisions. I'm wondering whether to put this one. I'm literally checking we're going to put the stitched one there. And then I was just checking the quality of the cloth lithographic plates to see which one I wanted paper side and which one I wanted to be hidden. And the stitched one is going paper side. correct decision, I think. We're going to squeeze in a lovely apple there, in amongst some fabric. Let's see if we can get this a bit more free form. Okay, tissue paper. Sometimes fabric just doesn't do what you want it to do. It's like, I don't want it to do that. Why is it doing that? Why are you not doing what I want you to do? Oh yeah, it's not doing what I want it to do. Fine. There we go. It will do what it wants to do. So this is the last of the cloth lithography ones. And I'm just going to increase the pressure even a touch more. Not to give me my morning workout, but just because I noticed we were missing a bit of the detail. I mean, obviously printing on damp paper, this is where you would pick up more detail, but you would also struggle then with the damp paper hand printing because it would start to dry and buckle. So poor Dennis the press here is doing a sterling job. Okay, we're through. And we don't actually need him anymore, so I think we're through. Yeah, great. That tissue paper must have been used about 5 times so far. Ooh. Let's have a look what we've got. Oh, this is nerve-wracking doing this without edits. I can't say, oh look, that didn't work, let's do it again. Oh, now that's beautiful. I'll hold it up to the camera afterwards, but actually the cloth Mokulito has done a really good job in picking up, that was the apple leaf imprint. Take this one off. Oh yes, brilliant. Lovely. Yeah. Well done, cloth Mokulito, you did your job. And it's actually that higher pressure. Again, beautiful. Just again, there's a... No, it's a piece of... Okay. Going to roll the press bed back out the other end because... no, I might be able to print my planchas now. Let's do that instead. Far better. So, they go there, that goes there. I'm actually just going to freeform it now. Let's just see where they go. Okay. That's a really strong apple. So he needs to sit somewhere at the front, I believe. There's a leaf shape there. Let's get him in. This is one of the stamped leaves, so let's do that. He was meant to go there. Look, that was actually meant to fit. I actually obviously masked that one correctly. Try not to shift your plate, especially when printing the detailed Mokulito work, because you'll end up with a double image, as I have in one of these leaves, and you'll see the plate just jumped, but hey ho, happens. Especially if you're having a peek. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to just have to get in front of the camera to get this back bit. Apologies, very rude of me. Just make sure I get that edge. I mean edges. Big fan of an edge. Lovely. Look at that. Real nice leaf veins on there. So that one's done. Now, when I say done, you could print that again as what's called the ghost image. So because we've removed most of the top surface of ink, you could print it again and it would be paler, because obviously it's taking less ink. I'm not going to on this image. I think already there's enough going on. The debate, that's also a nice strong one. God, so tricky. No, it needs to be a real punchy one there, so we're going with that one. there, like that. Decision made. And you can see where you've printed because you flatten the top surface of the paper, and this is thick paper. It's 220 gram, so you can see where you've gone because you've got a burnished part of the back of the paper, and that also allows you to see the sort of the shape of the jigsaw element. Lovely. Awesome, nice strong one. Okay. I feel like we're getting a pile of apples up this end, so I'm going to work with the pile of apples, and we're going to plop another one. Might put this leaf just sort of there, as if it's fallen nonchalantly from the fabric. Decisions. Okay. So in theory, Mokulito, and this is why it's so fascinating to me, I find it very intriguing and very beautiful. You don't need a printing press for. You also don't really need any specialist printmaking equipment. In the previous Mokulito specific videos, we looked at sort of non-lithographic options like children's wax crayons and oil pastels and kitchen oil and that sort of thing. So you don't, printmaking's expensive, and Mokulito doesn't have to be, which is great. Oh, so I've got 2 more apples. I feel in principle I should have them in because I've done this whole thing for you guys. There's a nice stripy one there, we're going to put that in. But if it's me, I probably wouldn't actually put them in. I think we're going to put one there, and going to make it into a pile of apples. Why not? One there, okay. I feel I should therefore include every apple. Honestly, if you're doing this at home, you don't have to. If you think it's done, it's done. But because obviously I'm doing this as much for education, it'd be good to include them all to show you all the different effects. But then again, it does kind of sum up the amount of apples we had in our kitchen yesterday making apple rings. My goodness. Must have been about 10 kilos of the things. Apples going everywhere. Not just in our stomachs. And 2 young children helping, apples literally going everywhere. Lovely. Oh, some nice crayon marks going on there, and then we were going to do this guy kind of. No, I'm going to make a pyramid. I'm going to make a stash of wind-blown apples, so he's going to sit there, like that. Yes. Right then, last one. We got there in the end. Thank you for your patience as ever. Some of these videos are long, I appreciate, but sometimes the hybrid prints, there's no other way I can really do it, especially since I am doing this unedited, because that's really important that you actually see this as it evolves in real time and space, so to speak, the 4th dimension and all. have. Absolutely brilliant, actually. You know what? I do feel it just needs a little leaf. Just there. Just needs it. I wonder how much ink is left on that. Obviously you could re-ink that and print that. That was a strong one. Let's find that one. I'm thinking that one was a strong one. Yeah, I'm going to do the ghost image. I haven't re-inked that plate, so I'm just going to see how much ink is left on it. It's oil, good quality oil-based ink. I'm pressing a bit harder. There should be something. Yeah, loads. Just needed something up there. There we go. Okay, there we have a, let's check that's, just going to come around and hold it up to the camera. So there we have a cloth and Mokulito lithographic print. You can see if I bring it closer, I'll just sort of scan over. It's going to get that in focus. Better, there you go. So you can see the range of different marks. Different rollovers we had. The blended rollover, you can see that really nicely down here. The little veins there, they printed really beautifully. That was a very nice green apple on the cloth. And actually the picnic blankets printed really nicely, and you can see the benefit of the cloth. You can start to actually use it like fabric, which is really cool. So there we go, a cloth and Mokulito hybrid print. I hope that's been sort of informative, educational, and shown you the possibilities of what you can do with these techniques. And that was really good fun. Awesome. Enjoy. Have a lovely rest of the day. It's beautiful sunshine here. I hope it is where you are. And have a lovely day. Thank you.